episode of the Water from the Rock podcast, brought to you as always by the Calvary Baptist Church. My name is Pastor Tyler Robbins, and with me as always is my brother, Dustin Robbins.
Hey, everybody. I'm so happy to be here, and I apologize if I'm sounding a little off. I've been battling a cold and head sniffles all week, but I'm happy to be here today.
Yeah, it's going around right now. I know that we've been having that all through, all throughout my house, and it seems like it's been going around the church too. So
Seems like the changing of the seasons just gets you.
exactly, every year, and I had that a couple weeks ago, if you remember, and
Yeah.
kind of coming back around to it again. The low this morning when we first got up was 30 degrees.
Yep.
And
I walked outside, and there was frost on the ground. I was like, no.
I know.
No.
That's what Mom said this morning. She goes, I wasn't ready to scrape my windshield this morning. I didn't even think about it. And I said, yeah,
Excuse me.
you gotta be ready for those things, man. They'll get you every time.
I know.
And but yeah,
It was bad. I was so depressed at that. I was like, it can't be that time already. It just can't be.
I know. Well, next thing you know, it's gonna be Christmas time.
I know.
And
In
time's flying
my
by.
opinion, it should literally only snow and get cold on Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, Christmas. Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day.
No, thank you.
New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, whatever it is.
I don't mind there being snow on the ground, but I just don't want it cold. You know what I mean?
I don't want ice. That's one thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah, I guess. But
If it stays off the roads and the sidewalks and doesn't blow you around when you're driving, then fine. We can have 20 feet of snow. I don't care.
Well, the truth is that would kind of help cut down a lot of the wind. And
Yeah, I know, right? Giant glaciers of ice.
Exactly.
Or, snow, I guess.
yeah, snow walls.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, yeah, Dustin. So I got a couple things I want to talk about today. Number one, we got a lot of events coming down the pipe for the church. We've got coming up here. We'll be doing the turkey giveaway again, and I'm excited about that. I'm really excited to see
Gobble.
exactly how many people show up. I'm really excited about that. So.
I can't wait. It's it's actually been one of our highlights the last couple of years around fall time. The Thanksgiving giveaway and the Christmas giveaway. It's just been really something that I know Dad really enjoyed it when he started it up, and we've loved it ever since.
Yeah, exactly. This will be the third annual, and that's exciting.
Yep.
So, yeah. Let's see here. I was going to share something with you guys today. Oh, yeah, I remember what it was. So we have our school. Can't say it. We have our Christian school here, and in the Christian school, we have Bible every day. And when we study during Bible, it's not really like a Bible class like you would assume. It's not like it's a devotional class. It's usually discussion based. And so what we'll do is we'll open it up to questions, and we ask questions, and we talk about different things in the Bible and things in people's life. Well, what do you do in this situation? Man, tell you what, I'm really depressed right now because of this. What do you think about that? What do you think about the war in Ukraine and so on and so forth? And
Yeah.
and we just kind of will sit and we'll chew on those questions, try to answer them as best we can from the Bible, and that's what we do. But today the kids didn't really have a lot of questions, so I want to share with you what I shared with them this morning.
Oh.
And exactly. And I asked them a question. The Bible says, and I think it's Psalms 37, it says, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of thine heart.
Okay.
I said, what do you think that means? And 3 hands immediately shot up. Go ahead, Dustin. I'm interested to hear what you think.
I honestly am completely lost.
Oh, I thought you had something there.
No, I was trying to figure out whose hands shut up.
Okay, well, first off, it was a couple of the students, and then Miss Jenny's hand. I foolishly called on Miss Jenny's hand too early.
Uh-oh.
And, she kind of derailed my whole class. And
Stole your thunder?
more or less. But the good news is she was close, but she wasn't exactly close. The Bible says it's actually in Psalms 37, delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give you the desires of thine heart. Anyway, I just was double checking the reference there in case you wanted to know. But anyway, we got into that, and Miss Jenny said, well, I remember it being taught, I always thought it meant that God would give you what you want if you followed him. And then someone taught me, well, actually, it means that God would not just give you what you want, but he would change you to where you wanted what he wanted and give you those things. And
That sounds decently accurate.
that's what I thought too, but not quite. Exactly.
What?
Exactly.
Would you care to explain?
No, I
please?
wouldn't. Let's have thank you guys for tuning in today, and no, I'll share it with you.
Tune in next week.
Exactly. Tune in next week to hear the answer to this problem. And but no, I'll share with you what I had taught today. I said, let me start off by telling you a story. When I was a little kid, and I mean like 4 or 5, I remember one of my favorite shows in the world was Blue's Clues.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I loved Blue's Clues when I was a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
And what was his name? Steve? His name was Steve, I believe.
Steve or Joe or
Joe.
something like that.
Joe was around after, and I'm a Steve fan. Steve was my guy.
I would
and,
know. I didn't watch Blue's Clues.
Yeah,
I
whatever.
liked reading Rainbow.
Yeah, well, that was later on, and but anyway, I remember watching Blue's Clues. I remember watching Steve, and I remember if you ever watched the show growing up, and this is more of a millennials thing, I know, but if you ever watched the show, what is it? You got your notepad there, your handy dandy notebook.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember watching Blue's Clues and watching her jump around and she'd jump into paintings and she'd mark her clues and things like that. And what would Steve do? He would always write down the clue. He'd always draw it in the notebook. And then what would happen after that? He would go to his thinking chair and he'd sit around and he'd think and he'd think and he'd think, right? Anyway, I remember that, though, and I really enjoyed that, watching that growing up. And then what happened? Shortly thereafter, he would solve the mystery, and it started a lifelong desire. I still read mystery novels to this day because I just so enjoy the trying to figure it out and the puzzle of it. I love it. But I remember when I was a little kid, I got one of those for my birthday. I remember going to Walmart. I was probably 4 or 5, and I got one of those for my birthday, and I was so excited.
The notebook thing or whatever?
Yeah, the handy dandy notebook. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was scared to draw on it because I didn't want to ruin it because that was my handy-dandy notebook. It even came with the crayon and everything. And I was so proud of that thing. I loved that thing. And then I shared with them also another story when I was growing up, my favorite Sesame Street character, because if anybody remembers preschool, who your favorite Sesame Street character said a lot about who you were.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You identify by that. And
I liked Oscar the Grouch and Count.
Yeah.
Fun. You know?
Yeah, I remember you being a big fan of Cookie Monster.
Cookie. Well,
Yeah.
that's because me and him both shared a cookie addiction. So
Yeah, exactly. I remember you liking Cookie Monster, and I always liked my two favorite was Elmo and Snuffy.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I like
Hi,
Snuffleupagus.
Big Bird.
I know. I liked Snuffleupagus when I was a little kid, and then I really liked Elmo. But I remember I was about 5. I think I was 5 years old. I got my first big boy watch, and I always wanted a watch. I always liked the idea of wearing watches stuff like that. And I'll never forget that the little black band leather. It was either brown or black. I think it's black. Leather band watch, and it had Elmo on it, and his arms would twist around to mark the time.
Yeah.
I remember that, and I remember thinking, why is his arms bent? And I remember that, and I love that thing. But I grew up loving those things, and having my characters I identified with meant the world to me. It was a requirement.
Yes.
And but do I still feel the same way?
No, not really.
Yes, I do. I still love Steve.
Really?
Joe is not my guy. I will watch Blue's Clues if it's got Steve. And
I never got into Blue's Clues. Like I did get into Sesame Street a little bit until they started changing up the characters, but I couldn't get into Blue's Clues. It just drove me nuts.
I get that. I was just given a hard time. I don't really watch kids' cartoons anymore. I mean, I'll watch with my kids from time to time, but that's not really my thing, you know. The kids hate that I watch the news, and my kids hate that I drink coffee, and my kids hate that I like to read the newspaper and read books. And they don't understand that, but that's okay. One day they will. And
Exactly.
But
They'll probably enjoy it.
exactly. But like I told them, like I told the kids today, what changed?
Your age.
My age. I got older.
Your taste in culture.
I matured.
Mm-hmm.
Will God give you the desires of your heart? Yes. Especially if it's His will.
Yeah,
But can you bully God into giving you what do you want? Oh, sure.
Yeah, I'd say you probably can, because if you God give me this, God give me this, God give me this enough times, God's gonna be like, you know what? You're not gonna listen to me. Whatever. Here you go. You're gonna get in trouble or you're gonna get hurt by it, but whatever.
Exactly. What I share with the kids today is this. You remember this story? I remember this story. It's a great parable, a great metaphor. And I've heard this story a few times, but I'll share it with you guys today, and I'm sure you've heard this story. But there's 5 brothers, and they're digging a trench in the hot Missouri heat in the
Yep.
middle of summer.
My dad told me this one.
Yeah, and if you know anything about Missouri, Missouri's dirt, the farther down south you get,
Yes.
the more clay it gets. And down there,
Red
the
dirt.
well, actually, it's cream colored, but I remember.
Mhm.
And I remember it being yellow. And anyway, I remember having that color dirt down there growing up. And we go down there, and in Missouri, if you dig down 2 feet, you're liable to hit bedrock. And down there, they have a lot of limestone and stuff. But
Yep.
anyway, there's so much clay in the soil that it is more tan than it is anything else. And up here, the ground, the dirt's coffee colored. There's brown, it's black, and down there,
It's
though,
rich,
it's cream. Yep.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if you've ever dug in that. Dustin, you and me have dug in that. We've had to dig a well before in that.
Oh.
And what did you know? Every time you swung, you had to use a pickaxe. You couldn't use a shovel.
No, because you
Yeah.
would be bringing up like a couple-inch rock.
Yeah, you'd be busting
very
through
least.
rock after rock after rock. And you'd be
Yes.
digging through clay. So you'd be just pulling hunks of
Mhm.
clay off the wall. And
And most of them places down there have bluffs, so you got to be wondering how much you're digging through that too.
exactly. Well, anyway,
Ugh.
once you get through all that, I mean,
Mhm.
especially in southern Missouri, what you do is you knock it down with a pickaxe and use a shovel to scoop it up
Mhm.
and haul it away. But if you're just, digging, you got to use a pickaxe. Just makes life easier, And
No, a lot easier.
you know what that's like. I've been there. I know what that's like. And anyway, these fellers, these 5 boys, they're digging, and they're digging a trench for their daddy.
Mhm.
And they're bringing out water. They're going to connect to a creek and allow water to flow for the cattle.
Yep.
And the daddy's sitting over there in a lawn chair drinking some lemonade underneath the shade tree.
Yes.
It's a big old oak tree is what I said today, but we'll call it an elm for this sake. And he's sitting there, and he's sitting underneath the shade tree drinking his lemonade. And the young boys, I called him Joe today, and I don't really know what you ever call him. You can call him Nate, you can call him Joe, you can call him whatever you want. But I called him Nate today, or
Billy
Joe
Bob.
today. Yeah, exactly, Billy Bob. I called him Joe today in Bible, and I said, well, he's about 14 years old, and one of the most popular American writers of all time is that feller there from Missouri. What was his name again?
Mark Twain.
There you go, Mark Twain. I thought I'd clue you in a little bit here. One of my favorite quotes that he ever said was this: "When I was 14 years old, I was shocked and appalled at how big of a fool my father was. When I was 18, I was shocked and appalled to learn how much the man had learned in 4 years." What was he saying?
boy.
He's saying, my dad was smart the whole time. It was me who was dumb, and I had to
Yep.
learn how dumb I was.
Exactly.
Anyway, Joe's down there digging, and he's 14 years old, and he is sweating in the Missouri heat. I don't know if you've ever been to Missouri, especially southern Missouri in the summer. It's nothing for it to be sustained over 100 degrees, 104 degrees, about 95,000% humidity.
Yeah.
There's more water in the air than there is in the lakes, amen? And
And it happens to be the one spot where there's going to be no cloud cover.
no breeze.
Exactly.
And, yep, so he's sitting there, and he is just sweating.
Oh, and then the gnats. Oh.
He's sweating like he's being
Yep.
prosecuted, man.
Mhm.
And anyway, he's down there, and he's underneath the direct sunlight. And his 4 brothers, he's the youngest. All 4 of his brothers are there digging with him, and he's scooping as they're pickaxing, and they're going. And he's getting frustrated. He keeps looking over at his dad. He's sitting there, and he's madder than a hornet. The fact his dad's taking it easy. And Dustin, you know the story. What happens next? He starts running his mouth, right? His brothers. His brothers are not stupid. They've been down this path. They've made the same mistake. They got mad at their daddy too, and they know. And so what do? They begin goading him. Yeah, you're right. It is weird that Dad's sitting over there
You should go
talking.
talk to Dad about it.
Yeah, man, tell you what, that is wrong. Dad's over there. He should be taking it easier. He should be over here working. Doesn't he know? More
Yeah.
hands make light labor.
You should go
And,
give him a piece of your mind.
Exactly.
And
So
sure
Joe
enough-
gets all stirred up, and he gets out of the ditch. He throws down a shovel. He
You
gets
know
out
what?
of the
I
ditch.
think I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so he goes over and he goes, "Daddy," and his dad goes, "What?" He goes, "Daddy, I don't think it's fair that you're sitting over here underneath the shade tree drinking lemonade. I'm thirsty. I'm hot. And you're over here taking it easy, being lazy? How dare you? It ain't fair." And so what does his daddy say? His daddy says, "Well, son, you got to understand something. I'm smarter than you. You're dumb. I'm smart,
Yep.
and I'm managing the business here. I'm
Yep.
managing the project. You go down there and you get back to work." Now, next thing that would happen is if I said but, what the but would be with two T's. It'd be mine getting whipped by my dad. You know, that's where I grew up. You got whipped, you did that. And
back
anyway,
talk, you're gonna be looking out, man.
Exactly. And back talk is met with a backhand. Amen.
That or how about this one? Why don't you go down to that tree and get a switch for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, go down there and pick out a branch. And
And God forbid you go out onto like a willow tree and pick out one of them. He just
Oh,
folded
wrap
up like
around.
5 or 6 times.
Yep.
Oh,
You think you're being
whistle coming
smart.
through.
Yeah. Yeah, you think you're being smart. You ain't.
Exactly.
And,
Anyways, continue with your story.
But no, that taught me a lot about life, man. It taught me how to keep my mouth shut and how to obey.
Yep.
And it taught me how to fear the Lord. And I think those things are really important in that they're being missed by younger generations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and gripe about that, but I just remember those days. And I'm in a little bit of pain shifting in my seat just thinking about it. And anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so what happens? Joe
Mm-hmm.
starts to run his mouth and say, "No, Dad, I don't think you understand. Light work, many hands make light work, and it ain't fair you're up here, and we're down there digging."
Mm-hmm.
And so
You
his
should
daddy
at least
gets
be
up.
down there in the sun with us, you know?
Exactly. And his daddy gets up, he sits down his lemonade, he stands up, he walks over the tree, he says, "I'm going to prove to you I'm smarter than you." And Joe goes, "Okay." So his daddy sticks out his hand in front of the tree, and he says, "Joe, come here." And Joe comes over there, and he says, "No, Joe, I want you to punch my hand as hard as you can."
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "No, Dad, I don't want to hurt you." He goes, "Oh, no, Joe, you got to understand. I'm smart. You're stupid. Punch
Yeah.
my hand as hard as you can, dummy."
Now, probably going through his mind at this time, though, is like, if
So
I hit
who's-
it, if I'm fast enough, I could hit his hand and I could push it right into the tree,
Mhm.
and I could prove my point. I'm smarter than my dad, and also give him a little bit of a hurt hand. And
I'm smart.
exactly, and I could also prove to my brothers that I stood up to daddy.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There's a lot of things running through this young feller's head.
Mhm.
The most important things running through his head is, I'm hot, I'm miserable, and my dad's making fun of me. I'm going to get even.
Mm-hmm.
So-
Pride's coming out.
So then what happens?
He hauls off.
Exactly. He winds up and he cocks his fist back and he throws as hard a punch as he can possibly muster. And you got to remember, he got that Southern Missouri farm boy strength digging through the clay. He's nice and strong. And he goes to punch his dad's hand. He swings and punches as hard as he absolutely can.
Mm-hmm.
And the daddy at the last second, right before, and anybody who knows this story, and you probably already know the end of it, it's not a mystery. The daddy in the last second, when the boy can't pull his hand back, moves his hand, and the boy punches the tree as hard as he possibly could. And so now he's sitting there with a sprained, may if not broken hand. Knuckles are all skint and bloodied from punching that elm tree. He's screaming and hollering because his hand hurts. And Dad says, "See, I told you, smart. You go get back in that ditch and keep digging."
And those brothers are laughing their heads off.
Oh, yeah, because you want to know why? Every one of them other brothers, every one of them have made the same mistake.
Exactly.
If you look at the tree, there's 4 other marks where the bark
Yep.
had been knocked off that tree. And-
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But that's just a perfect analogy about how God works with you. He wants to bless you. He wants to treat you well. He wants to give you the desires of your heart. The
Right.
problem is you've got to let him be the right desires. Otherwise, God's going to go, don't. Fine. Make the
Okay.
mistake if you want. Go ahead.
You're just going to end up punching that tree.
Exactly. And what happens is whenever you finally get what you want,
Mm-hmm.
it actually hurts you. When Joe gets back in that ditch, he's in a lot of pain, probably broke his hand. And now he's got to work all day with a broken hand.
And getting made fun of and laughed at. You gotta
Exactly.
remember that.
Yeah. And the way the story really ends, then the father walks over and gives the boys some lemonade and tells them it's break time. And he wraps up his son's hand, has him go back to work. But the truth is in life, whenever you want what you want, and you will not be dissuaded from getting what you want,
Mm-hmm.
God will eventually give it to you, but it's not what you want. It's
Exactly.
the worst thing you could possibly ever have.
Exactly.
And otherwise, how do we avoid this? Because God does give us the desires of our heart. So how do we avoid this? Well, it's simple. Going back to what Miss Jenny had said this morning, what we have to do is we have to let God direct us. If we let ourselves delight in God, make God our focal point, make God our confidence, make God our fulfillment, then when God gives the desires of thine heart, it's going to be God. It's going to be the things of God. And it takes all the pressure away of whether or not I'm going to be punching a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And,
100%. 100%.
But no, that's what we talked about in Bible today. And
Sounds like a blast. I bet the kids were laughing their heads off.
oh, they were. And I said, You know, kids, as dumb as this sounds,
You
how many-
guys would probably be the one doing it.
I said, as dumb as this sounds, how many of y'all are living this way?
Exactly.
And you're living this way,
Oof.
and you're thinking you're getting away with it. You think everything's fine. You don't realize you're just punching a tree.
Mm-hmm.
And you just want to be careful. And I said, it sounds silly, and whenever you look at it this way, it is very silly, but it's actually one of the most dangerous things you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you get what you want, you end up getting snake bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's when life really starts to be difficult.
Exactly.
And things that are patched together that are difficult and are pretty much without remedy, you'll be scarred.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
never fun. It's never fun.
If you make
I
the-
take that back.
yeah.
It is partially fun because the Bible says sin is pleasurable, but for a season.
Pleasure, sin is but for a season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is fun at first, and then as soon as you hit that tree and you feel the pain, nope, it's
You're
not
gonna
fun no
regret
more. Exactly.
Yeah, and if you've made those mistakes, share that with people. Tell them the truth. Hey, I made a mistake.
Don't do
Don't
this.
punch the tree.
Follow my example. Or
Exactly.
don't do as I did. Listen to what I'm saying. However that saying goes. So listen to what I'm telling you to do. Don't do what I did.
And
So,
just avoid them for the future, man.
mhm,
Life ain't
absolutely.
over. If you listen to this, life ain't over.
No.
And you're going to have more chances to punch more trees.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you're also gonna have more chances to learn and listen.
Exactly. But
Exactly.
anyway, that's what I had to share with y'all today. I hope it's been a blessing to you, and I hope it brought you some joy and some laughter listening to these stories.
Yeah.
And I remember them stories. And,
Oh, great. They were so much fun.
yeah, I remember them life lessons that you've been taught.
Mhm.
And then, of course, I heard that story first time when I was 7. So what do? I go outside and I punch a tree and I go, ow, that hurt. And I didn't punch it
So
very
that's
hard.
what it feels like.
Exactly. I didn't punch it very hard. I punched it just enough to know how bad it hurt. And but anyway,
Exactly.
guys, that's all I got for you today. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Water from Rock podcast. If you have anything you'd like for us to cover, feel free to reach out to us. If you have anything on your heart or on your mind, things that you need to share or you need counsel over, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to do what I can to help. But anyway, guys, you can get to us through bytheblood.org or on the app or, of course, directly messaging on this podcast. But remember, everybody, the Lord loves you. Have a great day.